Hello, thank you very much for visiting this page and deciding to watch this presentations, this video. And my name is Jarek Buchholz, and I've been involved in real estate for quite long time, over 15 years. And our primary goal during these presentations to uh, educate, provide as much information within a short period of the time to make you understand the principles and possibilities when you will decide to sell your house. So let's jump it in right away, and then we will be very happy to provide you with as much information as possible within short period of that time, right? So the primary goal is what you need to know to sell your house quickly without losing a sleep. And very important, thousands of dollars, right? We all needed to make sure that we are going to sell the property. You will be selling the property with the best options and possibilities. And that's what we will be talking about today, right? So why this video? The home sellers may be losing thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and even more without knowing why, right? On top of it is you may still consider other options which you may be not even aware of that, right? And fortunately, because we are involved in the real estate journey for many years, we've been there, we've done that. And definitely our primary goal to create this presentation and to to make you being aware of other options maybe you may not even know about, right? So my name is Jarek Buchholz, as I mentioned before. It's not about me, so let's forget it. You can have a chance to read it. My primary goal was I'm involved in real estate, and my primary goal is to help as many people possible. That's the overview of this video, and you all are more than welcome to Google me, and definitely there will be quite a lot of good reviews about me as a good person, right? I don't want to talk about that, right? So that's not important. Important is you. So why we prepare this video, especially for you, uh, how to sell quickly. You want to sell quickly, don't you, right? And we will cover multiple ways of selling your house, traditional way, and many times even out of the box thinking and strategies, and you will find all the necessary informations in order to make your own judgment call, right? I will be honest with you, our primary goal is to work with you and to definitely provide as much information as possible, right? So let's talk about the very commonly known and traditional way of selling your property, your house, your dream house, uh, is by utilizing and working with a realtor, real estate agent in your area, and then MLS listings, right? So when it's used commonly, is used when you have enough equity in the house. Commonly used that you more likely seen a lot of marketing all over the city. Realtors are having huge problem to market because there is so much competition, and what they are doing is primarily you will ask friend of yours or whoever, do you know any good realtor? Then you provide the phone number, you get in phone number from that person, then the realtor comes and comes to your property, arranges the viewing, and what they are doing after that, it's they will be more likely asking to sign exclusivity rights to work only with that realtor. Please don't do that, right? And then they will be signing the contract with you, and more likely it's 60 days, 90 days contract when they are putting on MLS. And if they are good, they will be marketing like crazy. If they are not good, then what they're going to do it is just put on MLS, and they will allow other realtors with potential buyers to book it in appointments, and good luck if you will be having any listings. Definitely that is very traditional way and commonly used if you have a property in the good standing, you have a property which you have equity in the property, there is not much renovations is need, and that is very commonly known when the people are selling, when you will be selling to first home buyers on people which they would like to downsize it, upsize it, and that's very common. I believe it. I do not know the numbers, but I believe it approximately 60-70% of those transactions are going through the realtor, right? You have to have an equity. That's a very primary key. Otherwise, the realtor cannot sell your property, and I will explain why. So what kind of questions you should be asking the realtor? Realtors is a very tough job. Percentage-wise, I believe it, and I've seen in the reports, approximately 10% of the realtors are transacting at least one property a year. That's strange. That's very troublesome, and that's you should be aware of it. So, how many properties have you transacted recently? That's what I would ask first. What I would ask also, how are you going to be marketing my property? What kind of media? How are you going to make sure that the property is sold quickly? If they will tell on MLS, we should consider that could be a red flag. They should be marketing like crazy on by other means, right? And have you ever transacted recently? How many properties have you sold within 1 year? How many years you've been working as a realtor, right? Questions. If you will not sell the property, okay, what will be the options? You will be aware that one of the common is lower down the price, okay? You should be asking what are your fees are. Commonly used fees are 7% for the first $100,000 and then 3% or 2% for the following, and there is a negotiable aspects. They have to cover the expenses for themselves and for also buying a realtor, right? So definitely you should be making proper due diligence and make wise decision about choosing the realtor. If I decided, another question is, if I decided to sell on my own, what kind of penalties I will occur, if there is any, right? Be very, very careful with such kind of information, right? Realtors are perfect team members. Definitely, I would consider that as a first option on your in selling journey, but there are many others, right? So what the time frame? Approximately, you should be also knowing what is the average sales time frame for the sales in certain area, right? And more likely, if you will not sell within 2 months, there must be something wrong. If there are longer than 3 months, there is something wrong with the property per se, right? I'm not saying if it's too high price. However, maybe there is some other, you will be facing other challenges, right? So you should be aware of that, right? What are costs? As I mentioned, there are different kind of brokerages. However, the primary standardized option is 7,000 per first 100,000 plus additional 2 or 3% for the following 100,000, and that is divided between buying and selling real estate agents, right? There are other costs, other brokerages, which they are charging less, so you may consider doing the due diligence, right? There are, is it called 2% brokerages? Or we can refer you some the most successful, the most experienced realtor in your area, definitely, right? So the closing process, that is covered by the realtor, and you will be definitely receiving the offer. Then you have to counter offer, and that will be the exchange between two realtors, and then they will be trying to convince you to lower down the price, or that's the commonly used, and then that will be transferred to the lawyer will sign the contracts, then the money for the deposit will be deposited in the trust, and all the paperwork will be done by the lawyer, and fees will be included in those operations, right? So your side, you will cover yours, and the buyer will cover their side, right? And they will be using different lawyers. You will be using your own lawyer, and they will be using their own lawyers, right? So something to consider. What will be happening if you cannot sell the property? I'll bet that realtor will encourage you to definitely lower down the price. Be smart about that. Make sure that the CMA, comparable market analysis, done at the first stage, they are compatible, and you may consider looking at the CTS tax assessments, or that can be a factor to consider, but please remember, the city tax assessments are not really accurate per se. They may be like 5% differences. However, you may look at the recent sales or listings in your area for the same square footage, for the same storage. If you will be selling, bungalow, so you can compare it with the same square footage, with the same beer build. So you will have an idea, but the realtor should provide you with the CMA, comparable market analysis, and then they should be providing you with all the information. What the recent sales were, what's the square footage, how much price, and they should provide you with the report and suggested price. If they made a mistake, or if the property has some challenges, may happen, right? So that what can happen would be that they will be definitely ask you to discount the properties and extend the contract, right? So be careful about that, and definitely something to consider, right? So pros, very well organized system, right? Realtors, they should be knowing all the legalities, all the contracts, and then you should be feeling safe from that realtor that you are very well taken care of, right? That is the plus. They can refer you to the lawyers, they can guide you, they can support you, and that's their primary job. Cons: expensive, primarily expensive, and if they make mistake, if there is challenges, then you may consider looking at other options, right? Selling the house is not cheap, especially if you know that there's a lot of competition in your area, right? So I hope that I cover very, very commonly known 60-ish, maybe 70% operations in when you are selling the houses and buying. However, you may consider also to do for sale by owner. Commonly are used when you are up to the challenge, let's say, and you want to decide it on your own to sell the property. So sometimes it's used when you do not have enough equity to cover the expenses associated with the realtors, right? So that's something to consider, right? Maybe the property is not as good shape, and then you would like to sell it on your own. And commonly used, by my experience, is when the person you you will be willing and you wanted to save some money and not to use Realtor for the sales, right? So that is the description, right? So how does it go? More likely you will be going and then listing your property on for sale by owner listings, Kijiji and any other websites very popular in your area. You will be providing the informations about the property, what is the asking price, then you will provide the pictures and how creative you are, then you will be having the chances to sell the property, right? And the time frame and that depends. If you are creative and you understand the process, you may sell quick, or after failure for 1 month, 2 months, then you may be looking at other options, right? Utilizing the realtors or other creative ways of using this approach. What will happen if you cannot sell it? That's very commonly used. That's what I believe it is happening in the high percentage for the sale by owner, right? Why? Because you may not know how to structure the marketing message. You may not utilize the power of MLS, right? That MLS is the listings all over all the properties in your area, right? Realtor.ca or Realtor.com. And for sale by owner, they have less reach, right? So if you cannot sell it, then you may reach out to the realtor if you decide it, or you may look at other options, which I will cover later on. Okay, so pros. Definitely cost. You will be saving quite a lot of money if you sell. That is the pro. And I believe that this is one of the major factors when deciding to do for sale by owner. The cons. You have to be good. You should be knowing well how to structure the message, how to provide the information, what kind of information you should be providing. You should know how to take the proper pictures, how to market your that property, and the cons are definitely there will be not your listings on those websites, multiple websites. They will be not as broad to the people which they are looking on MLS, right? So that's something which is very important to consider, right? And negative cons can be also that you may fail with the estimates what's the fair market value of your property, and then you may lose some money because you didn't make the proper research for the making sure what is your asking price. And then legality, setting up the contracts. You will possibly having challenges how to structure and to write the proper contract, and that may escalate the expenses with the lawyers, because if you will be asking the lawyers how to write the contract, they will be charging you a lot of money for it, right? On top of the closing costs and other costs, right? So definitely to consider. Quite a lot of people using that approach. There are pros and cons, but you should be knowing about that, right? So unfortunate situation, and this is when more likely you start receiving. I hope that is not happening to you, but we have to discuss in bad options also, right? The person started receiving. Let's talk about as a third person, not you, okay? So the person who homeowner received the messages from the bank that they can that they are behind the payments, and more likely after 3 months. Depends. There are judicial sales in some provinces in Alberta, then the power of sale, and then there's a power sale in the United States. So it depends where are you located. You have to make sure that you understand the legalities of the system. And if you will be in such situation, unfortunate situation, that person will be in that situation. What is happening is, if that person follows the proper steps, fills and contact the bank, talking with the bank, and one of the options I would definitely consider is defer the payments, right? So if deferring the payments, and all major banks, they allow that to do that 1 month per year. So you can defer at the end of the mortgage. So they are making money on top of by utilizing the interest, right? So that can be considered. And I would definitely look at the aspect of working with the banks prior when they send to the lawyer. Okay. And if let's cover the judicial sale as an example. Then if it's transferred to the lawyer, then you start the person receiving letters from the lawyer, and that start being costly, right? We are talking $500 per letter. And what is happening, even if that person will get back in the good standing and start paying back the mortgage, they have to cover the expenses from the lawyer first, then going to the bank. And there is a lot of legalities. However, if the redemption period is included, redemption period is when the masters are telling, listen, Mr. Homeowner, I understand the situations, and you would like to, if you would like to, how you can pay it out, and what your program, what are your plans to get in the good standing. And then the masters, the judge, will tell that person, you have a 3 months, 6 months, even sometimes a year, rarely is called redemption period, to get in the backstanding. Otherwise, the property is taken by the bank and the credit is very, very bad. So very, very definitely to consider. Pros. There are no many pros in this situation. That person may live few months for free, but the stress level, it's enormous. So I would not include it into the counts. Stressful situation, unfortunate financial situation, dire straits. It's very, very challenging, and I wish nobody could go through that process in their life, right? So then now let's talk if they cannot sell it even through the foreclosure and other possible strategies. There is an option also to contact the creative support from the real estate investor in your area, and then is commonly used by all the strategies, to be honest with you, right? So if you believe that you want to sell it through the realtor, bingo. If you want to believe it, you can sell it before the sale by owner, or if that person is facing any challenges, financial challenges, real estate investor can help, and not necessarily by just be charging you for the suggestions, right? So very important. Look at the real estate investor in the area as a person who knows in and out, and definitely they will be very happy to help you to provide you with the information, what will be the best option, right? So, and commonly using strategies, I believe it, percentage-wise, right? That 30% or 40% when they are not used by the realtor, people are reaching out to the investors, right, to help, to provide them help and to creatively structure the deals. So I do encourage to use it investors all the time. Doesn't matter if utilizing the realtors or not, or for sale by owner. However, utilizing the investors, it's very powerful because they understand in and out of the strategy. So how does it work? You provide information about the property, informations about the mortgage, informations about your current situation, confidential, of course, and then there may be questions more associated with the mortgages. And please understand that aspect of if the investor will be asking you those questions are in order to find the most creative way and to help you to sell the property. Very, very important. Creative way of selling the property and utilizing long experiences by working as a consultant in real estate, right? So the time frame depends of the circumstances. If, for example, you have a perfect strategy, we can offer you to use our realtor, or the investor can utilize to use the realtor. And if there is a foreclosure, there is a different time frames. Sometimes it can be very quick, and sometimes may even be taking years. But years with the state of that the investor will be fixing all those situations and will be fixing what is wrong with that property or the seller's financial situation. So, however, by understanding what takes and understanding what are the goals for the home sellers, that will be the main goal for setting up those logistics and implement different strategies, right? So based on that, I want you to understand that with the realtor, you have one option: post it on MLS and then hope that somebody will be interested, right? For sale by owner, I mentioned there is other aspects, right? Foreclosures or any other unfortunate situations, dire straight situations. And then using the real estate agent, they will help you with, okay, if I were you, I would go through the realtor. This is the realtor. If I were you, I would not use such approach because advantages, disadvantages, right? And if you want to go for, say, the owner, they could help you even to set it up the logistics. They set it up the staging of the property. And if you cannot sell, wow, I believe that will be very rare per se, as long as you would be willing to elaborate and work with the investor, right? Their goal is to provide you with multiple options, how to sell the properties, advantages and disadvantages, right? So the pros, as I mentioned, you will utilize experience of the person who worked with the realtor, who've seen for sale by owner, who've seen the foreclosures, who've seen other ways of utilizing and selling the properties. Multiple ways. Creativity is unlimited in that aspect. Agreement for sales, rent to owns, partial ownerships, wrap up mortgages. Depends. Honestly, please understand that we can talk about strategies for months sometimes, right? The cons definitely, you as a sales home seller should be open-minded and trusting that person. So building the trust is very important in that aspect. Definitely one of the most powerful. If you want a straight out sale, right, definitely they may suggest you and provide the feedback. However, the most powerful aspect of working with the investor is out of the box thinking. That's what you should utilize investors. And sometimes if you will be using them, definitely consider, show some appreciation, and paying for the consulting or buying the gift cards is up to you to decide, right? So conclusion. Why you should do it by yourself, but when you can rely on team of the investors, people which they've been doing that for many, many years. And they, of course, real estate investors, they want to make money. There is no doubt, right? However, there is a number game, and the primary goal is to provide as much information, as much resources for you as a home seller to make the proper decision and making sure that you are doing the best way to sell the house and you're not going to make mistakes. I'll bet if you will be utilizing the real estate investors, you will definitely save the money and you will have all the options which you may be not aware of. As I mentioned, multiple ways of investing, structuring the deals and selling your property, right? So how we can help? So based on your situation and your decision, this is not the sales. I would like to just give you an overview how that works. We can refer you to most efficient and most knowledgeable realtor, real estate agent in your area, right? You don't have to call friends if they sold and if they know anyone. We've been working with the realtors on a regular basis, and we can refer you to the powerful real estate agent who will be definitely he will be offering you the most powerful and most knowledgeable, the most efficient knowledge to sell your property, right? So that is the plus, right? No cost at you, right? We can also utilize and provide you with at the for some cost, for sale by owner package with all the information, how to structure, provide you with the pictures, photos, and set you up with all those necessary steps to have the highest chances of succeeding for selling by owner, right? That kind of package is definitely beneficial for you if you will be willing to pay for it, right? There's no problem about that. However, we have experience selling properties on a regular basis, so we know how to list it and what to do it and what kind of message to provide to the home sellers, right? And then the most important thing is we would love to have the opportunity to discuss with you all the necessary steps, how you're going to sell your property and to save the money in dire straight situations, how to save your headaches, how to make sure that you will be having the best outcome possible, right? And definitely we will be creating a win-win strategy. And one of the most powerful statements I would like to ensure you is there is no gray area. You will be provided with multiple strategies and you will be provided with the information's pros, cons, negative aspects, positive aspects, what if, and that definitely will open your eyes for other possibility to sell your house quickly and without the headaches and saving a lot of money if you decided to use our services. Okay. So what to do next? I would be very, very happy to, to talk to you or my team to talk to you. So please, that will take approximately 7 minutes. And you will be providing the informations like your name, property address, informations about square footage, shape, and everything associated with that. Then you will be verified for your telephone number and verified for the email. Then we will jump it into the informations about if it's property occupied by you, if it's vacant, if it's rented, as everybody else will be asking. And then, as investors, and please understand this is confidential, we will be asking you also for the information about your mortgage, right? Is it open, closed? What's the monthly payments? What's the majority date? Is there any penalties if you will cancel that mortgage? And anything associated with that information. Of course, they will be also asking about the foreclosure or not. And then you will be asked to book an half an hour follow-up call when we will be asking additional questions. If you do not feel comfortable, then definitely you may jump it in right away to the booking. However, I do really encourage you for doing that, and looking forward to have a one-on-one conversation with you and to make sure that definitely we will be helping you. That's our commitment, and the process, if you have all the information and if you are happy to do that, we will be very, very happy to work with you on a regular basis, and takes only approximately 7 minutes. So I hope that I provided enough information. I am so excited, and just click it below and don't hesitate. There is no commitment, and definitely we will be helping you 100% if you decided to work with us. Thank you very much, and God bless, and have a lovely day.